Welcome back to the lecture series of electronics measurement and instrumentation. In this lecture, I am going to discuss about electrical calibrations, standards, and DC emitter. So first, what is the calibration? So basically, calibration is referred to the verify the performance of or adjusting any instruments that measure or test electrical parameter. So electrical calibration is nothing but the process of verifying the performance or calibrate the instruments that used to measure the electrical parameter. What are the electrical parameter? Electrical parameter are voltage, currents and power. So the instruments used to measure a voltage, current and power needs to uh, calibration and there are performance verification. So before using any instruments, we need performance verification of the instruments and calibration of the instruments. So electrical calibration involves the use of devices that evaluate the performance of key properties of other device called units under test. So the performance key properties of the other device that is called unit under test. These precision devices fall into broad categories. Electrical signal source are often referred to as either calibrators or standards. Precision measurement devices are often classified as precision digital multimeter, measurement standards or ratio bridge. These are the basically device. Either we use the digital multimeter or we use some measurement standards or we use the ratio bridge. So these are the basically called precision measurement devices. So a calibrator is usually able to provide a wide range of precision output signal, such as voltage setting ranging from as little as few microvolt, increasing through several decades of millivolt and volt up to a common maximum of about 1 kilovolt. So basically, calibrator is a source. The source is nothing but a precision source. So that a precision source is able to provide a output from a millivolt range, in a volt range, and similarly in a kilovolt range. See, if you decide the precision of device and the range is so large, so here see in this particular case we started from in the millivolt range and go to the kilovolt range, then the highly precise device is required, because in the case of the millivolt range precision is different. In the case of volt, they are different precision. Similarly, in the kilovolt range, we have required a different precision. So overall, to maintain the precision in all the three ranges, very accurate accuracy is required. So a calibrator is usually able to provide a wide range of precision output signal. That any device that able to provide a wide range of precision output signal is called calibrator. Additionally, modern calibrator commonly provide output for various different electrical functions. That function is voltage, resistance, and current. Then that is all about what are the calibration and what are the standards. Then we move to the DC emitter. That is the first device, and this particular DC emitter is PMMC galvanometer. This PMMC is nothing but the permanent magnetic moving coil. So permanent magnet moving coil galvanometer, this constitute the basic movement of DC emitter. So basically PMMC instruments that are also called de-Arsenal movement. It's itself a emitter. Since the coil winding of basic movement is small and light, it can carry only small current. So basically, this particular de-Arsenal movement meter is itself for emitter by its working principle. But the Arsenal movement consists of a coil, and this due to this particular coil, its internal resistance is small, so it's used for a small measurement. So to increase the range of this particular emitter, we need a resistance that is connected in parallel with this the Arsenal movement or this emitter. So for when large current are to be measured, it is necessary to bypass major part of the current through a resistance called a shunt. This shown in this figure. The resistance of shunt can be calculated using conventional circuit method. It means actual this particular circuit is a DC emitter circuit. But this particular DC emitter circuit used for the measurement of the low current. To increase, if you apply high current across this D Arsenal movement meter, it will burn out due to the low resistance, low coil resistance. So to bypass this major part of the applied current, we required a shunt resistance or a parallel resistance that is mentioned at RSH. So see the calculation, what is the value of this RSH is, we know that both are the parallel connected, so the voltage is same, so same voltage, it means VSH equal to VM. VSH, we know ISH and RSH, then we got this. Then the RSH equal to IM upon ISH. Then what is the value of this ISH? We apply this current, and current flowing through this emitter is IM, so it is I minus IM. So RSH equal to IM R1 Rm upon I minus Im. For each required value of the full scale meter, we can determine the value of the resistance. So with this, with the help of this particular equation, we are able to calculate the value of RSH for high current, and that's why they are written that for each required value of the full scale meter current, we can determine the value of this particular shunt resistance. So that particular circuit is nothing but DC emitter, and even if you remove this shunt resistance or the parallel resistance, then it's also a DC emitter. Only we can play with the range. Then we again discuss about the multi-range. If we want to create a multi-range emitter, so we use a different value of the resistance. In this particular diagram, instead of the one resistance, we use a group of the resistance that consists of R1, R2, R3 and R4. Each are connected parallel to the D optional movement meter with the help of this particular switch. So based on the range of the current, if we want to measure, we can move this particular switch to that particular resistance. Then see this particular explanation. The current range of the DC emitter may be further extended by a number of the shunt selected by a range switch. Such emitter is called multi-range emitter. Just the name is they changed to a multi-range emitter. The circuit has four shunt R1, R2, R3, R4, which can be placed parallel with the movement to give four different current range. Switch S is a multi-position switch. I hope you are familiar with this particular arrangement. Have low contact resistance and high current carrying capacity since its contact are in series with the low shunt resistance. MacBook before break type switch is used for range changing. The switch protect the meter movement from being damaged without a shunt during the range changing. Actually, during the range change, when we remove this particular switch from one contact and it's connect to another contact, so during the movement from one resistance to another resistance in a brief period of the time, it means in a short duration, this particular circuit is open circuit, and at that particular instant the current in the circuit is flowing to the D-arsenal movement, because this particular part R1, R2, R3, R4 is open circuit in a brief period. So in that period of the time, the current is directly flowing to this D-arsenal movement, and this coil will burn out. So we need to protect this circuit. That's why in the previous slide we see we use shunt resistance to protect this coil. So to protect, in this case we use make before break type of the switches. That is a type of the switches that create a first connection, then they break the second connection, so that this particular circuit is not open circuit during the switching from the one resistance to another resistance. That is the basically function of the make before break type switch. So see, again they try to explain this whole concept. If we use an ordinary switch for range changing, the meter does not have any shunt in parallel while the range being changed, and hence full current pass through the meter movement, damaging the movement. Hence a make before break type switch is used. The switch is so designed that when the switch position is changed, it make contact with the next terminal before breaking contact with the previous terminal. Therefore, the meter movement is never left unprotected. Multi-range emitters are used for ranges up to 50 ampere. When using a multi-range emitter, first use highest current range, then decrease the range until a good upscale reading is obtained. That is also one of the precaution that we start from highest and then move towards lowest. The resistance used for the various range are of very high precision value, hence the cost of the meter increases. Due to the high precision resistance, the cost of the meter increases, but this particular DC emitter is converted into a multi-range DC emitter. That's what about this particular topic. Actually, the topic is multi-range DC emitter. So in the case of the basic, this particular circuit is basically an emitter due to its basic property. So just by playing to the shunt resistance, we are able to create this convert this emitter into multi-range emitter. Then again, if you want to extend the emitter range, so extend, that's why it can be used for measure the high current value. So we use again external shunt connected to the basic movement. So we see here we use a meter set. This particular meter set is used for the measurement of a low current. Then we use the external shunt. With the help of this shunt, the range of this emitter will extend and we are able to measure a high value of the current. For example, if 100 micro ampere movement with 100 scale division is used to measure 1 micro ampere, the meter will deflect only 1 division. Hence the range lower than the basic range is not practically possible. So that is the what about how to extend DC emitter ranges. So that's it, all about DC emitter. In the next class we are going to discuss about RF emitter, that is also called thermocouple. So thanks for attending this class.